What's going on, guys? Not my intended video to record today, also not my normal location. I'm actually out of town, but I got some really cool, exciting news if you guys are remotely into isometrics or the old Isomax ISO chain product. Basically, long story short here, Coach Paul Wade, the infamous Coach Paul Wade, if you know who he is, I'll fill you guys in there in a second, reached out to me, and I was honored, honestly, when I heard this, because he's kind of a big deal, especially in my world, about sharing the information about his Kickstarter, which is dropping today. At the time of this recording, it is not live. I will show you some web footage of the Kickstarter when it's been kind of pulled. It was only pulled on there for a little bit, so I have that. But at the time of this release, it is going to be live. I'll put the link down below if you guys want to check it out. In this video, I'm going to fill you guys in all about his new product, the IsoFlex, which is kind of like an evolution of the Isomax. I'll give you guys the insider baseball, which apparently, from what I'm seeing, what I'm understanding from what Paul Wade is telling me, he's left DragonDoor. The license is up with DragonDoor with that Isomax ISO chain, and now he's moving on to take things all into his own hands, and he's going to be releasing his own version of this at a much lower price point, also with some better quality of life features. We'll get into all that here in this video, guys. So a lot of information. I'm actually really excited about this video, and I tried recording this a few times, and do my best to make this as succinct as possible, but not get too long-winded because I easily could. First, though, if you don't, just to give you guys the backstory, if you don't know who Coach Paul Wade is, he is somebody who, in my opinion, really sets the stage and influenced the modern-day progressive calisthenics or progressive bodyweight training that we see now. His first two books, which were hugely influential to me, I just ate those up when they first came out in 2011, was Convict Conditioning, and I actually didn't think he was a real person. So Coach Paul Wade was his fake pen name in the book of this prisoner who was telling you about how he used to train, back when he was in the cell, and how these progressive steps, and it was such a great, I thought it was just a marketing genius. I actually thought it was John Duquesne, just made the whole thing up, just a fake pen name. And John Duquesne is a marketing genius. DragonDoor.com, they help bring kettlebell training to the United States with Pavel Taslini, who essentially left, obviously, that whole backstory there. But I thought it was just a genius marketing book, and I didn't really care. I thought it was great. Convict Conditioning 2 was just amazing too. Reminded me a lot of those old school strength training books that I was eating up a lot at that time. Heavily influenced the way I train, and I was honored when Coach Paul Wade reached out to me. I did hear in later years that I think he was a real person, but no one actually has him on camera. I got some more information I'll share with you guys in the future with Paul Wade. So extremely honored when he reached out to me. It meant a big deal to me personally. Basically, the information he shared with me is he wants me to be kind of in the forefront alongside some other people possibly about sharing with you guys about the IsoFlex. And I'm really honored to kind of do that. So what he told me, of course, everything's according to him, so I don't have both sides of the story here. Paul Wade invented the Isomax ISO chain, which is a pretty ingenious way of basically tracking, getting metrics for isometrics. So prior to this, isometrics always been around forever, been proven to be very effective. The hard thing with isometrics is actually getting data points and actually tracking, metrics and goals. So really cool, smart technology inside this little handle that then tracks the force output that you're actually putting on to, say, a foot plate. So he first created the ISO chain, then that evolved to the Isomax. He licensed those out to DragonDoor, who of course published a lot of his books. He also made the Isometrics manual, which is one of the best books on isometrics. Even had a forward by Dan John, which I believe says the exact same thing. So that's a huge honor right there. Excellent books, excellent products. He said his biggest issue was that he thought the price was way too high. He had no say in that. He got a little cut for whatever each unit was sold. I'll just kind of leave it at that. I gave more information on that. But the license essentially has expired from DragonDoor, so now he has full rights to the product, minus some, I think he said some molds that DragonDoor still owns. I'm assuming that's for maybe the foot plate, possibly. And so that's something where some of this Kickstarter money is going to go into getting, new patents, new molds and stuff like that for the new novel products, and obviously improving upon the new version of that. But he has full license of the product, and so now what his main intent was, he thought the price was too high that DragonDoor initially put that out for. He wants us to get much lower, which I kind of agree. The ISO chain, Isomax, are expensive. They were at $450. I did pay money for that. That was not sent to me free for review. So his mind was, if it's a lower price point, we can get this more out to the masses and really get isometrics training, pretty popular and where it kind of should be, back a little bit more, at least a little more mainstream in the strength conditioning or strength training world, which I think is great. So the Kickstarter right now, we'll get more details into the product, but right now the price point is set at $249.99. That's what he told me at the time of this goes live. It might be a little less than that, he said, possibly. It's going to include online support and also a free ebook with a lot of information. After the Kickstarter is up, their full price will be $299. So still subsequently cheaper than the original Isomax ISO chain products. He's anticipating that once this is all complete, it's going to be released in early 2025. Now, if you go on the Kickstarter, my first impression of this was, well, you got a different color scheme and it looks like the exact same thing as the Isomax. That's pretty much it. But there's more details here. I don't think he actually has the full version out there. I'm actually surprised he could get the rights. I'm guessing he owns the rights to these images and the model that he has here, because I was surprised you could just kind of do that, because it looks like it's just the Isomax images, but just different coloring with yellow and black. And a lot of it's kind of the same kind of marketing stuff, same setup. So I will get into the details here, but at first glance, I'm like, it looks like the Isomax, but you're just going to make it cheaper, which is still definitely cool, don't get me wrong. But here's more of the features about what he told me is going to be inside of it. So some of the new stuff, he said new connecting bolt and frame, which is going to take a little bit more weight, also increase the safety, so just the connection points are going to be better. He says a new, quote, recipe on just like the strap. He had some other industry terms he used here, but basically the strap that holds it's going to have a little more elasticity to it, a little more strength. Combined with that, better loading reflex is what he told me. He said in the actual bar itself is going to be numerous software bug fixes, and he said no more calculation glitches. I never experienced any calculation glitches. There were some issues with like the battery pack. Some people, I actually personally liked having physical batteries, not the rechargeable batteries. I think he's still using lithium batteries, which he said is going to be later on in the FAQ section, that they're going to last a long time and they're environmentally friendly, etc. But he says here, again, superior battery life. It's actually improved from the other Isomax. He's also upgrading the handle compound. He said, in his words, improved display. So it's going to be a clear white display and not, he said, not a cheaper blue, and also a more durable screen. He's going to have multiple new color schemes. According to what he told me, the aesthetic of the old kind of black and orange is going to be gone. He's going to be putting in this black and yellow you see here, or he calls it tactical electric. I kind of like that. Then he'll have a pure black, or like he's going to call it the stealth color. So kind of two color options are going to be out there, both of which I think are pretty cool. And then there's some other finer details in here about just in the FAQ section about shipping. It looks like he's based out of the UK, but this is all going to be shipped and housed in the United States. So US shipping, Canada, UK, EU looks all pretty easy. It says the long-lasting design, that it's going to be, so 2-year parts, breakdown warranty, so it says double the length of the previous generations. I actually found this kind of timely because I got some other people I'm looking to get on the channel and heavily influenced me getting back to kind of my roots of training, which is still, I call it more of a hybrid approach, where I got some heavier kind of weight training mixed in with mixing in other modalities, which is pretty much what I always used to do, and I'll show you guys more details about that. One of which of the things I was looking to put a little bit more into is isometrics. I always struggled with just really implementing and forcing isometrics into my training, especially the most recent years, because I had some of these programs I was jumping back and forth to. Now with going back to this old school program that I've been doing, I'll share with you guys soon. Isometrics is, for me, going to be making more of kind of a headway back into my personal training. So this is really cool. It's always one of those things whenever I talk with the Isomax ISO chain, people ask, am I still using it? I go back and forth with it all the time on the channel, and it's something I think is incredibly cool. I think it's incredibly useful, incredibly underrated. I always think of, like, I always said this many times on the channel, that if you were a trainer, a strength coach, just as an assessment tool alone, I think this thing is for sure worth it. So the fact that this price point has gone down and making it more accessible to people, I think that alone is going to open up more doors. What he's really needing me and some of you guys to do, going to help support me, of course, in the channel. You like, share, subscribe, but really the share button. So share this information to other people out there. He just wants to get the word out there. The biggest thing with the Kickstarter and channels like mine is just the reach of the product. So he knew I was really into this type of training and using kind of new, different, novel things in the way I kind of train personally. So I'm extremely honored that he reached out to me. He, like I said, he's very influential to me in general in my training. So again, really excited about this in the future. Hopefully you guys check out the Kickstarter. If you guys are into isometrics, Isomax, ISO chain, check it out. But of course, if you guys got any questions, definitely comments, maybe some features possibly you want to see. It sounds like most of it's kind of laid out there, but I got some things I wanted to share with him that I thought could be improved. But lay that all out there, guys, in the comment section. I'm sure Coach Paul Wade will definitely check that out. And you guys can definitely stay tuned for more information on the IsoFlex. We'll keep you guys updated about this, no question. And I'll see you guys on the next video.